Why dogs eat waste, and what can be done to prevent it? The question of why our dogs eat their waste is the one that disgusts the majority of dog owners more than any other behavior our pets engage in, including drinking from the toilet, rolling around in swamp muck, and licking their private parts. Their goal may not be to make humans feel repulsed, but they certainly succeed. To such an extreme degree that the realization that one's dog eats waste is frequently cited as a reason for people to try to find a new home for their dog or even to choose euthanasia for the animal. The practice of eating feces is referred to as coprophagia in the scientific community, and there are a variety of reasons, both behavioral and physiological, why some dogs consider feces a tasty treat. If you have a poop eater, don't despair. Some tactics can be used to break the habit, and some over-the-counter remedies are available. Poop eating is a phenomenon that frequently occurs in dogs, even though relatively few scientific studies have been conducted on the topic. To obtain vital nutrients, consuming waste is a common practice for certain species, such as rabbits. If you stop rabbits from doing this behavior, they will develop health problems, and young rabbits won't develop properly. It is a blessing that dogs do not have to obtain nourishment in this manner. During the first 3 weeks after giving birth, doggy mothers will lick their offspring to encourage elimination and eat their puppies' waste to clean up after them. Puppies will also engage in this behavior on their own accord, eating their feces, also known as autocoprophagia, the feces of other dogs, also known as allocoprophagia, as well as the feces of cats and other animals, also known as allocoprophagia. Certain dogs find that horse manure and goose droppings have a delicious smell. It is safe for them to consume their feces, but eating the feces of other animals could put their health at risk because the stool of other animals could be infected with parasites, viruses, or toxins. This behavior will typically disappear when the puppy is approximately 9 months old. What you need to know about dogs that eat waste. Coprophagia, also known as poop eating, is a behavior that, when seen in puppies, is typically interpreted as a regular part of discovering their environment. Most puppies will be content with a whiff, but some of them, much like human children, will want to put everything, including feces, in their mouths. Dogs rarely consume loose, poorly formed stools or diarrhea, which is a strange fact to learn. Instead, hard stools are the primary source of their interest. Particularly delicious is the consumption of poop that has been frozen. There is a rationale behind why people who own dogs came up with the term poopsicle. In his research, Hart came to some additional conclusions about why dogs eat feces, including the following. The practice of coprophagia was more prevalent in households with multiple dogs. For example, only 20% of the dogs living in homes with just one other dog had the habit of eating feces, but the percentage rose to 33% in homes with 3 other dogs. Housebreaking a poop eater is no more difficult than any other dog breed. However, it is more common for female dogs to consume waste, while intact male dogs are the least likely to do so. 92% of dogs who eat poop prefer stuff that is only 1 to 2 days old. 85% of dogs that eat the feces of other dogs will not eat their own dog's feces. Instead, these dogs prefer to consume the feces of other dogs. Poop eaters are typically gluttonous dogs who steal food from tables. Why do dogs like to eat shit? If you notice that your adult dog has started eating its feces, you should make an appointment with your veterinarian as soon as possible. Parasites. Diets that are lacking in both nutrients and calories are unhealthy. Your vet may suggest supplements. Syndromes associated with malabsorption. Diabetes, Cushing's disease, thyroid disease, and other conditions that might cause an increase in appetite all fall into this category. Medications, such as anabolic steroids. The following are some examples of environmental stressors and behavioral triggers that may cause a dog to start eating its feces. Isolation. Studies have shown that dogs kept alone in kennels or basements are more likely to eat poop than dogs who live close to their people. This is because dogs kept alone in kennels or basements are more likely to be isolated. Restrictive confinement. Spending excessive time confined in a small space can contribute to a problem with poop eating. It is not unheard of to discover that dogs rescued from overcrowded shelters have engaged in coprophagia. Anxiety is a common side effect of house training involving harsh methods or even physical punishment. According to this theory, dogs may defecate and then eat their feces to cover their tracks after they have been caught doing something wrong. However, this results in the dogs being disciplined even further. This leads to a never-ending cycle. Dogs eat their feces because they seek attention from their owners, which they will undoubtedly get regardless of what they do. Therefore, it is important not to freak out if you discover that your dog is eating feces. Inappropriate association with real food. Dogs fed close to their waist may form a connection between the smells of food and those of their waist. As a result, they may be unable to differentiate between the two odors. Sniffing it on their mothers. Lindsay reports that in some instances, puppies will become perplexed when they detect fecal odors on their mother's breath after she has cleaned them. For example, this can happen when the puppies smell their mother's breath after she has washed them. In addition, mothers may occasionally regurgitate food contaminated with their puppy's feces. He refers to this as an appetitive inoculation, which may cause a puppy to develop this undesirable habit. Living with a sick or elderly dog can result in a healthy dog eating the feces of a sick or elderly dog in the household. This is especially common when the ill or elderly dog suffers from fecal incontinence. The researchers speculate that this may be connected to an instinct to defend the group from potential dangers. How to prevent your dog from consuming waste. Dog owners and veterinarians have reported seeing improvements in their pets' behavior after implementing one or more of the following strategies. Vitamin supplementation. It's been hypothesized for a long time that dogs eat their waste and that their diets are deficient, so giving them a multivitamin might be a good idea. In particular, a lack of vitamin B has been considered a prime suspect, and studies have supported this theory. In 1981, researchers discovered microbial activity could produce the B vitamin thiamine. Other research found additional nutrients needed to be added to the canine ancestors' diet. The modern canine diet is higher in carbohydrates, but lower in meat-based proteins and fats. Enzyme supplementation is necessary. Supplements for canines that include the digestive enzyme papain have proven helpful. Taste aversion products. The idea behind these products is that specific tastes and odors are just as repulsive to dogs as the concept of eating feces is to humans. As a result, adding a poop-eating deterrent to a dog's food or treats will make the stool produced less enticing. A good number of these products include ingredients like chamomile, monosodium glutamate, derivatives of pepper plants, yucca, garlic, and parsley. If there is a problem with poop eating in your household, treat all dogs, especially if you have more than one dog. Some owners will also use a spray with an unpleasant flavor to make their dog's waste taste worse. Training and environmental management techniques, such as the following: ensuring that you have all of the appropriate equipment for feeding, training, and walking your dog, are the most effective ways to put an end to the problem. Make sure that the living area of the dog, which includes the yard, is kept clean so that there are no piles of feces for him to consume. People who own cats should keep the litter box clean or out of the reach of dogs. When walking your dog, keep an eye on it and immediately clean up any waste it produces. Training. Put in a lot of effort to master the cues, leave it and to come. Train your dog to come to you for a food reward as soon as he finishes eliminating waste as a straightforward form of exercise. In this way, the dog will form the pattern of looking to you for a delectable morsel rather than focusing on the repulsive bite lying on the ground.